So, you may have heard, Cherry Mobile is making its comeback into the Philippine smartphone market. At first, we were expecting the same old stuff as before. Budget-friendly, bare-bones smartphones that work decently as, well, a phone. But it seems they're changing approach with the launch of the new Aqua series this 2024. Today, we'll be reviewing the more powerful version of the Aqua series, the Aqua GR. With a retail price of 11,999 pesos, it is a bit more expensive compared to Cherry Mobile phones of the past. But it does come well packaged with a 108 megapixel camera, 120Hz display, 5G connectivity, and a lot more. Given how competitive the smartphone market is now, is the Cherry Aqua GR a phone you should consider buying? Well, I'm Jose from Yugatech, and today, let's find out. So, roll that OBB, and let's get started. Let's start with one of the biggest changes Cherry Mobile made when it comes to smartphones, the design. Instead of following the trend of having the camera setup located at the upper left corner of the back panel, the triple camera system on the Aqua GR is found at the top center with its unique rectangular housing. It features a unique layout too, with the main lens at the center with the other lenses on the left and the right and the flash at the bottom. The distinct layout helps the Cherry Aqua GR looks a bit more different compared to other phones in the segment and even in the market. Instead of going for red accents to match the Cherry Mobile brand, the Aqua GR adopts a rather minimalist design. The review unit we have features an all-black design, and aside from the distinct camera housing, you only get a small Cherry logo at the lower port bottom. The back panel itself also adopts a matte finish which sparkles when hit by light, giving it a rather premium look. Because of the matte finish, this also makes it less prone to smudges and fingerprints. However, the frame itself isn't as smudge resistant or fingerprint resistant since you can easily find or leave fingerprints due to its metallic finish. Speaking of the frame, you might mistake it for metal. However, it is made out of hard plastic, which does feel rather sturdy and premium. On the right side, you'll find the volume rocker and the power button, which are positioned rather well. This makes it easy to use even with just one hand. At the top, you'll find a secondary mic for noise cancellation. At the bottom, you'll find the dual SIM card slot, but it does not come with a slot for microSD storage expansion. Beside it, a USB-C port, and a single downward firing loudspeaker. Overall, I like the new design of the Cherry Aqua GR. Not only does it help distinguish the phone, but it also elevates styling by making it a lot more premium. It's nice to hold too thanks to the curved edges, and it's rather slim, making it easy to fit in your pockets. Flip the phone over and you're greeted by a 6.8-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED screen. The display features curved edges, which I'm not too particularly fond of, but it does make it easier to hold the phone with one hand. Your fingers don't accidentally touch any of the buttons on the screen either. The AMOLED screen on the Cherry Aqua GR looks great with rich and vivid colors out the box. You can even adjust the colors of the display to make it even more vibrant in the settings. Although, even in normal mode, it already looks nice. At the same time, you can also change the color temperature of the screen to your liking. The display also comes with a 120Hz refresh rate, which can be set permanently at 120Hz, but it does use up battery a lot faster. Dynamic mode is set as standard when you open up the phone from the first time, ensuring a balance of smoothness and battery life. That said, going through the menus is smooth, and the same goes for watching videos. But the ones that will benefit the most from a 120Hz display are the gamers. You get nice smooth gameplay, making it a lot more enjoyable to play on this phone, but we'll talk more about that later on. As for the speaker, there's a single mono loudspeaker at the bottom, which is decent at best, but it's enough if you're not too OC about sound quality. For a better listening experience, I would recommend pairing your favorite Bluetooth headphones or earphones or a stereo Bluetooth speaker. One of the highlights of the Cherry Aqua GR is the camera. As mentioned earlier, you get a triple rear camera positioned in a rather unique manner, unlike other smartphones in the segment. The main shooter, which is located at the center, features a 108 megapixel shooter, but is actually a 50 megapixel sensor. But wait, didn't Cherry Mobile say it comes with a 108 megapixel shooter? Well, it seems the 108 megapixel isn't the sensor of the camera, but rather a shooting mode. According to the Dev Info app, the main shooter is a 50 megapixel sensor. If you open up the camera, you will find a 108 megapixel mode though, to give you higher resolution photos instead of using zoom. Now, surrounding the main shooter are two other cameras. One to the right is an 8 megapixel ultra wide, while the one on the left is a 2 megapixel depth sensor. There's also the dual flash below, which is slim as opposed to the usual circular flash we see every so often. Now, at the top center of the front screen, you get a 16 megapixel selfie shooter. Now, I did have my reservations about the camera at first, but surprisingly, the images came out sharp and vivid. I even got good bokeh without having to use portrait mode. I only turned on AI mode and auto HDR and let the phone's algorithm do its thing. From my experience, the photos turned out best when shooting in 1x zoom, which is normal, but 2x zoom is also decent. However, anything beyond that and the image quality does go down quite drastically. 4x zoom is the max and it's reusable, but you do notice a lot of AI enhancement going on. As a result, the photos end up not as sharp or as detailed. And the same can be said when you're shooting at night or in low light. You can work with it, but the camera really shines when you're shooting in the daytime or in well-lit environments. If you're not too OC, you can even upload the photos directly to social media without even having to edit them in post. In terms of video, the Cherry Aqua GR can record up to 4K video, but it can also shoot at 2K and 1080p for those who want to save on space. Now, you have to remember there is no EIS available when you're shooting in 4K, meaning you do have to have very steady hands or you'll get shaky footage. But at 2K, the phone's EIS function is already available, which was a great surprise. Usually, in-body stabilization found in phone cameras in this segment only work when you're shooting in 1080p. So, good job, Cherry Mobile, for making EIS work even at 2K. Like the photos, the videos are great during the day or in well-lit environments, but once you start losing light, expect the quality to go down rather drastically. Under the hood, the Cherry Aqua GR is powered by a MediaTek Dimensity 7050 processor paired with 8GB of RAM, which can be expanded by up to 8GB. It also comes with 256GB of UFS 2.2 internal storage, which I do find lacking since there is no micro SD slot to further expand storage. So if you plan on shooting a lot of 4K footage and install a bunch of apps, you might run out of space really fast. For daily use though, the Dimensity 7050 handles your usual day-to-day tasks very well. Browsing social media, checking emails, and even working on documents, all while having several apps running in the background. There was no lag or slowing down, making it great as a daily phone. But what really surprised me is when it comes to gaming performance. As expected, light games such as Mobile Legends and COD Mobile ran really well on this phone. However, when we were playing Genshin Impact, I was able to max out the graphics settings and the game didn't lag or slow down. Gameplay was very smooth and enjoyable, especially with the 120Hz display. Now, the phone did heat up after around 15 to 20 minutes with the graphics set to the highest, but it's still an impressive feat nonetheless. With that, I decided to tone down the settings a bit just so the phone won't heat up as much. But if you want to max out the graphics and have 60 FPS while playing Genshin, you can with the Cherry Mobile Aqua GR. To give you a better idea, check out the benchmark scores right here. In terms of software, the Cherry Aqua GR runs on Android 13 skinned with Cherry's own UI. It's a rather vanilla UI, which makes it easy to use even if it's your first time on an Android phone. Now, I do wish there were more features, but hey, at least there's no bloatware that comes with it. What I did find interesting with the Cherry Aqua GR is that it comes with its own version of Dynamic Island. It's called Dynamic Capsule and it shows up when you're playing music like Spotify, charging the battery, and more. As mentioned in our hands-on video though, the Aqua GR's Dynamic Capsule appears to be an app called Dynamic Box Dynamic Island by Dobis Mobile. Now, if you're not too fond of the Dynamic Capsule, you can turn it off in the settings if you want. In terms of battery, the Cherry Aqua GR is equipped with a 4700 mAh battery pack, which is a bit smaller than usual. From my experience with daily use, it does last the entire day despite the smaller size. Thankfully, there's also 66W fast charging to make up for it, using the supplied power brick and cable. However, you will notice that the battery drains rather fast when you're playing games, especially graphic-intensive ones like Genshin Impact. Specifically, I went to around 15% of battery after just playing Genshin Impact on the highest settings for around 30 to 35 minutes. For reference though, we did run our usual video loop test and got a result of 12 hours and 57 minutes, which is still decent despite the smaller battery pack. So, with an SRP of just 11,999 pesos, the Cherry Aqua GR is one phone you should really look out for this 2024. It has really great performance, a nice camera, and a beautiful minimalist design. The fact that it can even run Genshin Impact at the highest settings is perhaps one of the biggest surprises we had with this phone. For reference, even more expensive phones with sometimes even more powerful chipsets have a hard time doing the same thing. Now, you might still have your reservations given the old reputation Cherry Mobile has in the Philippines. But with the Aqua GR, they've definitely shed their old image and made a great start to their comeback. And if this review hasn't convinced you, then I suggest you try out the phone for yourself. But what do you think so far? Is the Cherry Aqua GR a phone you'll consider? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and visit yugatech.com to stay updated with the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Jose, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!